So, I would like you to imagine that you're editing a video whether you know how to or not. You've been working on this video for about 2, maybe 3 days now, and then oh no, it's gone. It's erased. All the data gets corrupted. That's what happened exactly 1 year ago when I tried making this exact video. It all got corrupted, I got very mad, and I just decided not to redo it. But here we are a year later, and I'm doing it now.
11 pipers piping.
The Santa Claus is just one of those movies that I always seem to really enjoy for nostalgia reasons and why I consider Tim Allen to be the definitive Santa Claus. However, as I've watched it in more recent years, I realize that the second half of the movie is kind of ass. So anytime I rewatch it, I'm just gonna watch the first half and then turn that son bitch off. Because the journey getting to him becoming Santa Claus is more entertaining than him actually being Santa Claus. And for that, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
10 lords a leaping.
Bad Santa. It's kind of one of those movies where I think it's really funny, but not that rewatchable. Like, I may not watch it every year, but when I watch it, it still makes me laugh. This is like the only role I know Billy Bob Thornton in. It's got Bernie Mac, who's always great. That one black midget, and you know which black midget I'm talking about, dog. He's in so many parody movies I can't even keep count. But yeah, just a solid raunchy comedy if you're in the mood for it. 7 out of 10.
9 ladies dancing.
Elf to a lot of people is a bona fide classic. To me, it's just a good Christmas movie. I don't really consider it a classic because I did like it as a kid, and then a few years ago I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but now I'm back on board because now when I watch it, I enjoy a lot more of the jokes that I didn't really get when I was a kid, and now I get today. But again, similar to the Santa Claus, the first half is way better than the second half for me. But yeah, I'm sure for a lot of people this is blasphemy to not put Elf in like the top 3. But fuck it. Is this Will Ferrell's best movie? Abso-fucking-lutely. 7 out of 10.
8 maids of milk.
Let's all agree that Jingle All The Way is Arnold's third greatest movie of all time. Because we all think Arnold Schwarzenegger, we think Terminator 2, Predator, and Jingle All The Way, baby. Jingle All The Way is a bona fide classic. If you haven't watched it, turn this video off right now. I don't want you here, you're not welcome. This is like a perfect cheesy ass Christmas movie, man, where nothing makes any sense. It all revolves around getting a toy in December that's sold out, which I'm sure happened millions of times in real life. So it's relatable in that sense. And the dialogue is just hokey as fuck. We got Arnold fighting the Big Show, dog. Even though I've been gassing this movie up, I'm still gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
7 swans a swimming.
Now this is a movie I'm sure most people have not seen, and that's Klaus. If you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. It's a Netflix original movie, so you should definitely go see that shit because it's on Netflix and everybody has Netflix. And it's a great take on the idea of Christmas where this guy who's a postman is sent to this area on the map where Christmas doesn't really exist in that town or whatever. And so he pretty much makes up this idea of Santa, except his name is Klaus. And it's almost like an origin story to Santa Claus. The animation is great, the story is great, and it's also the newest movie on this entire list, so definitely check that shit out. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.
6 geese a laying.
Next up we got The Night Before, and no, not The Night Before Christmas, fuck that movie. This is actually a Seth Rogen stoner comedy kind of movie, which with most of his movies I think they're okay or whatever, they're kind of funny. But this is easily my favorite of his group of movies, with him, Anthony Mackie, and Jason Gordon-Levitt. I just like the idea of just like this group of guys having this yearly tradition of celebrating just Christmas, doing a bunch of stupid bullshit to try and get into this exclusive Christmas party that no one actually knows whether it actually exists or not. Then they actually find some tickets to get there. It's just a good ass time, it's really funny. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
5 golden rings.
Next we got Scrooged. Maybe not so to me, but to a lot of other people it is a classic, because I've only known about this movie for like a few years now, and it's now easily my favorite Bill Murray movie. Just the idea of turning the Christmas Carol gimmick into just this satire comedy, I fucking love it. It's a parody movie, and you should know what a parody movie is like. 7.5 out of 10. Next we got a 2-for-1 special with Mickey's Once and Twice Upon a Christmas. Just an anthology of stories told with all the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse gang and all that shit at Disney. It's just a really good, like, on in the background, whether you actually pay attention or not type of movies. Once Upon a Christmas is 2D, and the Twice Upon a Christmas is actually 3D animation. I'm not really sure what about it I actually love. I just really have come accustomed to watching these movies because it jumps from story to story all over the place. But yeah, I'm gonna also give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Three French dancers.
Oh, this one we get into the good shit right here, baby. Next, we got Krampus. Krampus if you're white. And I got Dylan watching this like, hey yo, what the fuck? Why is this not number one? I got number three. Just because number one and number two have a more nostalgia driven placement. Don't get me wrong, Krampus is fucking A tier, S tier, banger fucking movie. Makes me laugh every single time I watch it. The acting is hilarious. The practical effects are top notch. Fucking fantastic. If you haven't watched it before, it's like a horror comedy. But I mean, to me, it's just a comedy because to me, horror movies are already funny. But yeah, most definitely, if I was to want anybody coming down my chimney, I don't want Santa Claus weak ass. I want Krampus. I'm gonna give Krampus a 9 out of 10.
Two turtle doves.
And now at number two, I've got a movie that I've probably watched more than any other Christmas movie in history, and that's The Polar Express. This movie slaps, dog. I absolutely love the complaint that people have saying that the animation is nightmare fuel, disgusting to look at. Dude, that animation is revolutionary. My man Tom Hanks played literally every character in the mocap. That shit's awesome. The conductor is fire. The bum is hilarious. Scratch that bullshit I said at the beginning. Tom Hanks is the definitive Santa Claus. That Santa Claus voice and look is so good. I love the music. I like the idea of the story of it maybe possibly all just being in his head. But anyway, absolute 2000s essential. Everyone in my generation has seen this movie, whether you love it or not. It's also gonna get a 9 out of 10.
And a partridge in a pear.
There's only one movie that rises above all, the creme de la creme when it comes to Christmas movies, and that's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one. Now, don't get me wrong, the animated classic and all that shit from the 50s, that one's tight too. It's only like 30 minutes. But this movie is the funniest movie I've ever watched in my life. It's just every fucking joke hits for me. Jim Carrey was the perfect casting. The prosthetics they used on this motherfucker is pristine. The prosthetics used on all the Whovillans is fantastic. The music is perfect. Even though this movie came out, like 2000, 2001, the CG is not that bad. But yeah, there's nothing else I really need to say. It's a perfect Christmas movie. And just a perfect comedy, really. So for that, it will also be getting a 9 out of 10. I mean, the top three can really just be flip-flopped in any order. They're all 9s out of 10. And I love all three of them equally. Alright, I'm done.
Bitch, I am on 10, this ain't no game, I'm not your friend, you should know. Hops back in here, stay back in here, you running shit, not actually. Most of my life trying to get